My name is Christy, and this is Angel Talk, where the archangels are real, relevant, and accessible to everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Let's talk. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me at Angel Talk. This is Christy Michelle Riggs. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. I'm so very glad that you're here, that you have found me. I hope that you find something here that resonates with you, and I hope that it's a blessing to you. If you've been hanging out with me for a little bit now, thank you so much for your continued support and encouragement. I am so excited and just so grateful for each of you that are here with me and that are on this journey with me. We are definitely walking this path together, no matter where we are on that path. We're all doing it together. So that's such a huge blessing to me, and my prayer is that it's a blessing to you as well. So we are talking today about the 9/9 Gateway that is opening today, September the 9th. And I've been really excited about this for quite some time now. Because there's a really pivotal shift, just a huge shift that is occurring with this gateway, and some really like these defining moments of this whole thing. This is one of them. This shift in this gateway and what it's all about and what it's representing is one of those major defining moments in our awakening and in our planetary ascension. And everything that we've been witnessing play out in the world, the destruction of the old order of things, the teardown of the patriarchal society, and the competitive sort of Darwinism that we've all been exposed to and programmed since we were very small. It's gone on for a very, very long time. The teardown of all of that we've been witnessing this year, all of that has been really leading us up to this gateway. And I have some really unique thoughts and insights about what's going on with this gateway that the angels have been helping me to kind of unpack and process and make sense of, that have to do with this gateway, and that are also extremely personal to my life, my home life, my daily experience. And so I'm really excited to share all of that with you. Now, before we really get into this, I have some announcements that actually have to do with this with this gateway, and have kind of come about as no surprise to me in a very synchronistic fashion to this gateway. I have shared with you before that I have two websites. I have the christymichelleriggs.com, which is where normally you can go to listen to all the podcast episodes, and you can also book sessions and things like that with me there too. Now, that website came about just this past May, just a few short months ago. My first website that I don't speak as much about is AngelBee. It's angel-bee.com. Now, that website I can't really separate the website and the idea of that and the energy of that from my awakening journey. This was an idea that came about, it's almost been 5 years ago now, I guess. And it came about as a result of the awakening that my husband and I shared very much together. I've shared with you guys before that we experienced that together. And when I say together, I mean, just literally every minute of every day was spent together working on that. We had a very unique opportunity to be able to do that, and to be able to put all of our time, effort, and energy into our awakening, our transformation, and to evolve into, being in a place of being able to share this with you guys. And this podcast was always meant to be a part of the Angel Bee. And I haven't really shared publicly before, and I will share that with you guys now, where the name Angel Bee is. It's bee like a bumblebee. The logo is like a bumblebee with a halo. And it's very near, and I'm going to get choked up, goodness gracious, very near and dear to my heart. Because I have had these gifts and these abilities to talk with the angels, and they've always been present in my life. And the gift of clairvoyance and clairaudience and claircognizance, just all of it, recognition, being an empath. I've had that since birth, and that was something that I had kept a secret. I had kept that very, very hidden. For my entire life until about 6 years ago. And when my husband and I got married and we started our awakening process. And my husband is a disabled combat veteran. He has a very unique case of PTSD, and I say unique. It's probably not all that unique to what other veterans experience, and maybe are just afraid or ashamed to share the extent of with others, understandably so. And there were some things that he was experiencing at that time, and just trying to find healing and clarity, and just out of such desperation to make sense of everything that he had been through in his life. And I had some messages come through one day, and from a passed on loved one of his. And I knew that I was going to have to go in there, and I was going to have to tell him, look, this is what I was given as a message, and this is what happens to me. This is my experience, and I didn't know how I was going to do that, because I was very, very, very nervous for so many different reasons, And I went in there into the bedroom, and I sat down, and I told him this, and I just told him everything that had just happened. And he looked at me and he said, Christy, you have to share this with the world. And that was not the message that I was expecting to get. That was not the response. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew I had to tell him. And he said, that's when he said, I don't know how, I don't know, I don't really know what all that means, but I know that you have to share this with people. You have to share what you can do, because the healing and the understanding that just you telling me just that just brought to me, you have to give that to you have to be able to share that with other people. And that I can't tell you what that did for my life, because being able to share this with people and being able to live authentically and say, this is what I do and this is my experience, and this is what everyone can experience, and to be able to have had the experiences that I've had in the last 5 years, and the understanding and clarity that it's brought to my life just from him allowing that, and not having a negative response. It was the most positive response you can imagine. And the healing that brought to my life, to be able to do that and to be able to share that and to not have to stuff that and hide that anymore, brought about my healing. And so it worked in tandem in that way. It was really interesting and just really beautiful. And he has a pet name for me, kind of like I guess a term of endearment, or a little pet name. And he had always called me his baby bee, and that's like he sings these funny little songs, and I think that they're just the sweetest little songs. He just kind of makes them up as he goes, like they're almost like little jingles. And one day when we were dating, he started singing this little song, and over the song just kind of came in spur of the moment in the little song he was singing, and he referred to me as a baby bee, and it stuck because I thought it was the sweetest thing. And when he saw my reaction to it, then he kept calling me that, and it kind of stuck. And so when I was trying to come up with a name for this business and for, how I was going to share this with the world, I didn't have any idea what I was going to call it or what. I knew it needed to reflect and be all about the angels and that connection and that guidance. And I also wanted it to be very personal, and because there's no separation between me and what I do. It is my life. It is who I am. And so I remember I was just about to doze off to sleep. I can't remember if it was to go to sleep for the night or for like maybe a nap. Because I feel like it was the middle of the day. And I think I was laying down to take a nap, and I sat straight up in the bed and I said, Angel Bee. And he said, I love it. It's perfect. And he knew exactly what I meant. He knew exactly, what I was talking about. And he said, I love it. It's perfect. And so everything, gosh, we sacrificed so much because I quit my job that I was working, my regular job, and we poured so much into this, and it has just as much, Angel Bee had just as much of him in it as it did me, and it arose out of our work together and our union. And so in May, when we experienced a separation in our twin flame union journey, and I needed some place to pour all of this emotion and all of this energy, and what that was, Spirit was calling me to grow and to expand and to stretch in ways that I never knew that I was able to. And so I created the christy.angelbee.com, and I had thought at the time, I was like, well, I want to grow. I want this to be a very grown up, very evolved, I wanted like a different energy of this independence, and that I was, very grown up, and what it really boiled down to. And I didn't really fully understand it at the time. I think I did, but I couldn't process. I didn't have I was too afraid to process through it at the time. Was that I knew that I needed to pour my heart into my work, because that's where I find healing. Is with the angels, and was sharing that with people. And I couldn't pour it into Angel Bee because he was there, and every bit of their life together was there. Excuse me. Every bit of our life together was there. And everything that I've shared with you all through this podcast, and all of the growth and evolution that has taken place in my life over the last 4 or 5 months, would not have been possible if I hadn't created a different place to put it. And because it was too painful to go there. Now, I kept the Angel Bee website up, but I haven't really done a whole lot with it over the last several months. And what I've been really guided to do just in this last week, really, is because I came across this old flash drive, and I was trying to find some files on there, and I found all of these files. I mean, just like 5 years worth of work that I that I put into Angel Bee, and they just made me smile. I was ready to look back on it with like this, wow, we man, we worked hard. I worked hard on that. And the beautiful things that came from that, that's not to be just to let go and to to not put my heart into out of fear of hurt or out of fear of pain or this illusion of loss. And so through that, and I realized that I had this warmth in my heart that came over me, and I felt him here, because he's just as much a part of that as I am. And so what I have been guided to do is to merge the two websites, because what I realized is that I'm the kind of person that I will, like, if I really believe in something, I will pour my heart and soul into it. And I can't, I'm just not wired to do that with two separate websites, because then I start to feel torn between the two, and it becomes kind of splintered. My energy will get kind of splintered if I do that. And so what the angels and God have inspired me to do over this last week is merge the two, because you can be every bit, if any of you have been to the Angel Bee website, it's very soft and sweet and pink. And it was meant to be like a rose quartz kind of color. Because, my husband had allowed me to express that for the first time in my life. I didn't have to be this hard, I got me the kind of energy I could be, I could express and get in touch with my very feminine side. And, the christy.angelbee.com is all navy blue, and which is very beautiful. Also, it's definitely also very much a side of me. And so what I've been guided to do is merge the two, because I realize now that I don't have to be one or the other. I don't have to choose between the two. I can be every bit as much soft and sweet and nurturing as I can strong and powerful and very mature and the full embodiment of the divine feminine archetype and the divine masculine within myself. And that's what I've been talking to you guys about so much. And so the angels were like, merge the two. As you have, as you feel this wholeness within yourself, show that externally. Let others experience you through the expression of that. So I'm really excited about that. And I feel really, really, really good about that. So any of you, I'm going to be working on that over the course of the next couple of days. So if you go to the christy.angelbee.com, but we will probably still just find where you've always gone until probably tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing redirects. Okay, so you'll still be able to find me. I hope it's not confusing to you. If any of you have any difficulty whatsoever, all the information to get in touch with me is in the description box. Please reach out. Please let me know if you're having trouble getting to me. But we're going to redirect everything back over to Angel Bee, and everything that you have experienced at christy.angelbee.com will be available to you and more. It will be if you have enjoyed either of those two websites separately, then I can just about guarantee you that as I merge the two and you get that full embodiment and that full expression and completeness of who I am and who I am really happy to be, it's because it's required a lot of work, but it's been good work. And I hope that it will inspire you to do the same within yourself. Now, how all of that relates to what we're going to be focusing on today with this 9-9 gateway is 9-9, or the 9-9 gateway is coinciding exactly with Mars coming to a complete standstill and stationing retrograde in its home sign of Aries. Now, Mars is historically what we've thought of as a very aggressive masculine energy. It is known as the god of war. It is also the planet that is the archetype for the divine or the sacred masculine. Now, what we have to remember, what we have to understand is that just in the same way that we are evolving and we are expanding and we are transforming and recalibrating and ascending, so are the planets and these archetypes that they represent. Because if you remember, it's just a mirror reflection of what's happening within us. Is we're seeing in the cosmos. It's as above, so below. Okay, it goes back to that universal law. And so it's no surprise that these things are happening and are so very synchronistic, because what is happening internally within us is creating that, and vice versa. So the divine masculine is receiving an upgrade. It is being recalibrated. It is expanding. It is transforming. And we are seeing that. We're seeing the destruction of the old, of the distorted masculine archetype, of this competitive, very greedy, very selfish, very aggressive, all of that we have experienced, that we attribute to the masculine. We've been seeing all of that fall very quickly, and fall in very big ways. Okay. So that's what I mean when I say all of that is leading up to this pivotal moment. Because when we think about retrograde, we think about it's a time of reflection. It is a time of going within for the purpose of reflecting on where we've been and recreating a reality for where we want to go, right? And so the masculine archetype is at a complete standstill right now. And what that is doing is recalibrating. It is recalibrating the masculine. And this has been long awaited. And it's so very personal to my life. I come from a place where, and I know that this is played out in different ways all over the country and all over the world, but it's where I live and where I have come from, particularly in the South, particularly I grew up in a very small town in the very easternmost portion of the state of Kentucky, and my husband is from a little town not far from where I grew up, that is in the southeast, down close to Tennessee. And it's particularly challenging, I think, in these certain little pockets of the world where some of these archetypes, get kind of stuck in their distortions, and it becomes very, very difficult to be anything different than that. And that's not to say anything bad about where either of us grew up. We have plenty of positive, wonderful things to share with you about those places and about the South. There's nothing negative that I want to say when I share that with you. It just kind of, it's just how things are. And so what I have seen, both in my husband and in my son, is this, two very, very creative, very passionate, very loving, very tender, sensitive, caring men that outwardly in their physical manifestation are just their stature is physically very large, just massive, strong, very warrior-like in their physical appearance. And so the world has kind of told them that they have to be one way, when inside they have felt a very different way, and that has been very challenging for both of them in different ways. And it's been also particularly challenging because, as I've shared with you all, my husband, we're in separation right now, but one of the most challenging things of his life has been the aftermath of his military service. And so that's when I shared with you that there were some unique insights and thoughts that the angels have kind of helped me unpack through this as we're talking about this gateway and this recalibration of the masculine. And they reminded me of just the fact that just the sheer number of men and women, mostly men, that serve in our armed forces and our military, and the number that are now left feeling very, very confused and broken and ashamed, and a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, just a lot of not knowing how to deal with the aftermath of that. And so that has been extremely personal to my life, especially in the last 5 or 6 years. And so as we think about Mars as the god of war, and we also have to think about, the fact that we have been actively involved in a war in the Middle East for a good number of years now, so long so that a lot of people kind of forget that it's still been going on. The number of lives that we've lost, and the number of men that are now sitting at home, excuse me, and trying to find a different way to be now. Like what do we do now? What now? How do we now function in a regular society? How do we now, what are we supposed to do with all of this? And so I think it's really interesting that the angels have shown me, that we've taken some of our most capable and most heroic and strong and powerful in a way that is meaning like willing to stand up for what they believe in, and willing to protect, and willing to sacrifice and do for others. And all of that has been distorted through just the experience of having to go to war, and what, the reality of what war is like, and then to come home and not know what to do with all of that, and to have all of these really beautiful, wonderful gifts and abilities and skills that now they have no idea how to integrate that into their civilian life, their regular society. And I think it's really interesting that we're now in this Virgo season, and that this is occurring in Virgo season, because Virgo is all about, it's very earthy, it's very home and kind of home and hearth kind of energy. And so what the angels have shown me is, as we recalibrate this masculine archetype, and this gateway opens, and it comes online, the transformation from the aggression and the war and the overpowering and that kind of thing, into the authentic divine masculine expression, where those things get transmuted into passion and empowerment and personal freedom and liberation and those kind of things. That, if you think about all of that happening in this sign of Virgo, that it gives the possibility, and it makes way for this energy of being able to put all of those skills and talents and divinely wired attributes into the home, into the family, into this leadership that comes from caring for the family. And we can really look to the Native Americans for that. I have a lot of Cherokee in my lineage, and so does my husband. And we've talked about this time and time again about the example that they set, and they really knew what was up. They knew they had a connection to source. They had a connection to the Pleiades. They had a connection to their ancestors. They understood, even though it's worded a little differently than we word it now. If you can get past some of the terms that they use, and you feel into what they were talking about, they're talking about the exact same thing. And just how beautifully they were able to embody these divine masculine, divine feminine qualities. They were very matriarchal societies, and the men took care of the villages. They took care of the tribes. They took care of they protected and made sure that they were provided for, and that everything was set up so that then the divine feminine could heal and nurture and take care of the home, using the things that the masculine had provided for and protected, and they worked in tandem in beautiful harmony. And so I think it's also very wonderful and divinely synchronistic, as everything is, that Venus, that represents our divine feminine, entered the sign of Leo on the 6th, so just a few days ago, where she'll be until October the 2nd. So just as, and we've talked about this so many times before, I get so excited, is it's just so affirming of everything that I've been shown leading up to this, and how exciting it is, because I feel the possibility, and I feel the energy of change, and I feel just how it's ripe with a potential and possibility for some beautiful, beautiful things that we can create moving forward. That here Venus is, here the divine feminine is, with all of this courage and passion and love and strength of heart, courage of heart, and there's to encourage the divine masculine, and to bring that into balance, and to work in tandem as it was created to be. And that is so exciting to me. So that's why I say it was no accident that that I came across this flash drive, and I found these files, and one thing led to another, and was guided to combine and merge the two websites, because it is emerging within myself of divine masculine and divine feminine. And then that opens the door, that encourages all of you all to do the same. And it also, once that's balanced when that is balanced within yourself, then it makes space for the balancing and the healing and the wholeness with others, and whatever that looks like for you in your life. So this gateway is just I'm so excited because it gives us the energy to be able to, how do I say this? It opens up that space. It makes available that space. With the opening of the gateway, it opens this space to say, let's create differently. Let's bring this into balance. Let's work together. Let's be at peace and at one and in wholeness within ourselves. And let's create partnerships. Let's heal the partnerships that we have. Let's do this differently going forward. And if you are a divine masculine out there that has been struggling with some of these things that we've talked about, and with what society has told you that you have to be or that you ought to be, I just want to personally thank you for being courageous enough to look within yourself and to know that that's not who Spirit really created you to be. And I want to just thank you for the work that you're doing. And I'm so excited to see what you create and what we can all create together. And to the ones embodying the feminine out there right now, such as myself, I want to say thank you for the ways that you have taken the walls down from around your heart, because I know that's been hard work. I know personally that's not been an easy task. And that you are holding space for this, and that just like Venus is coming to assist Mars, that we're there to assist just by being courageously loving, courageously loving and passionate and encouraging. And this gateway really opens up a space of incredible possibility for partnership and for us all to be able to work and do this thing called life together as we were meant to do it. So there's lots of information in the description box for ways to get in touch with me and about the merging of the sites. And like I said, if there's any difficulty that you experience, if you would like to schedule a session or anything like that, or you just want to connect with me, which I hope that many of you do, please let me know. There's several different ways that you can get in touch with me. So I hope that this has been a blessing to you, and I hope that you guys are very excited about it too. It's like I said, it's a monumental, pivotal shift in what we are experiencing and in the way forward. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm sending each of you lots of love and encouragement and blessing for where you are now, and honor and gratitude for where you've been, and just lots of light for the road ahead. We will talk again very soon.
I am not an island. I want to feel the connection.